package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with a different channel update video. So this is my channel update for February. I have been a little busy producing my new titles, but the elephant in the room, or it's not really an elephant, it's actually a very beautiful elephant, is an original Midway Space Invaders cabinet. Now this is not mine, this is a friend of mine, a gentleman who I've done some minor fixes on a couple of cabs for him. Now apparently there was a set of people in South Australia that have quite a few machines put away in storage, and they were going to try and open a barcade. They couldn't get their venue, or things didn't work out, so they've started selling the machines off. Now my friend, he bought this Space Invaders machine because he just had to have the Space Invaders machine. Now it was sold as not working, that's why it is sitting in my area here. And he also got himself an original Donkey Kong cabinet. Now I can't show you pictures of that because obviously I'm not around his place. He has dropped it here, and obviously it's taking up room in my entrance area here, which is good motivation for me to get it fixed and out. Now all I've done is done an initial plug in. The tube is alive. I can't tell if the chassis is any good yet, and it makes a constant sound when it's turned on. So before I turn it on again, I will now go through and check all the bits one thing at a time. They did say it was playing blind, but making a continuous sound is not playing blind. That could have just been the opinion of the person who plugged it in or sold it to him. So there might be some actual board repairs, but the actual unit is looking very, very nice. So this is my repair area. I probably haven't really done a tour sort of thing. It has stuff everywhere, okay? I come in here and I work on stuff, and then I leave it and I go out again. I have a very busy job and a family, so I did get just a cheap heat gun here, just for shrink wrapping stuff here. I have a better one in my other repair area. I think that's the only addition there. I do have one of those cheap extraction fans down there. I've plugged it in. You can see two ColecoVisions in the process of being repaired and AV modded. The one closest, I just took the switch apart and put the dielectric grease on it, and I'm about to assemble another AV mod. The one at the back's already been AV mod, but it still doesn't work. It gets a really rotten picture, so I'm still working on that one now. So we'll swing around. As I said, there's not a lot of room in here at the moment, although it is neater than it has been. So side art isn't too bad. There's a little bit of scuff damage down the bottom, but it's actually in not too bad condition. So there is a new addition. So this cabinet and another one that's similar are new additions. I got them very cheap at an auction. I put in a sneaky low bid and stupidly won. So now I have to deal with them. But as you can see, it's in pretty good condition. The insides are all original. So you're looking at an original monitor chassis there, original power board, and original Midway Space Invaders set, which we'll have to see how we go. I've already got all the technical manuals and everything like that. As I said, I wasn't expecting to repair the board, but I may have to, but I'll start with the power supply first, of course. I mean, it's still even wired up for US. So I'll just do a pan around here because I've cleaned up a little bit. I've still got a surplus of MSX items. I've got some Atari items that I got recently that I haven't put away yet. This pile of junk, which I'm working my way through. But the Galaxian, sit-down Galaxian, Sega Galaxian, is starting to emerge from the pile of junk because I do want to get that one fixed. We have my my Space Pilot or Time Pilot, works fine. Also sitting here are the copies of Pixidis for the various systems. So Pixidis is one of my recent game releases, and you can get it for the original Spectravideo, MSX, Sega SG-1000, or of course ColecoVision. These copies here are going across to John Hancock so he can sell them at conventions later in the year. I'm putting those together. Next cocktail is my Leisure and Allied converted into a Williams cocktail. So it has a set of Defender Stargate controls on this side, which also act as the normal controls, and a set of Robotron controls on this side, and it's currently in Robotron mode, which I know you play it from this side with the twin sticks. And it's got a switch to flip the screen and flip the controls inside. And sitting on this one are the copies of my other game that I released in partnership with John Hancock, none other than Block'em Sock'em. So we have for the original Spectravideo, for MSX, for SG-1000, and the ColecoVision. I suppose I should have shown you the back of the box. So it's a really cool action puzzle game, very colourful, lots of fun. We'll just go back here and I'll show you the back of the Pixidis box. So Pixidis EX is a new version of my biggest selling game from the mid-80s. So released in 1985 was Pixidis, and it was my biggest selling game back in the day. It loaded on tape into the original Spectravideos, but this one obviously is on cartridge and with a bit more space available. It has really good music and sound effects. Both of them have really good music and sound effects. And more enemies and things in the shoot 'em up, and 25 levels in Block'em Sock'em. So next machine is another cocktail. This is originally a sit-down Konami Scramble. I'm missing one square button there, but otherwise that's all original. I have a 60 in one at the moment. I do have a original Scramble board, but it has some RAM issues that I haven't got around to fixing. It's been painted to be something else at some stage, so I need to strip some of that off to get the things and get proper ones of these to restore it back to how it's supposed to be. Now I've shown you my Star Trek Data East Star Trek pinball, which is my only real pinball. We'll finish off this side. We have what's called a low boy, and I've made that into my Neo Geo system. The monitor's a little dull, but it works quite well. This is another Nintendo cabinet. It was originally a Space Firebird, as you can see by the completely destroyed control panel there. It's also had its screen rotated horizontal. That's how it had it, and I did have it as my Bosconian cab for quite a while. My Bosconian has a bad CPU. I mean, you deal with old arcades, you get failures. We have the first of one of my marquee cabinets. This is Choplifter, which is actually a really cool game. Has a great monitor, all stable and everything like that. The controls, nothing wrong with them. It's just a little bit ugly. Doesn't have a coin mech in it. Probably preferred to restore that at some stage and work out a new control panel overlay. And so I've got the lights working in it. I just need to fix up the marquee. Now, so this is the second one of these, and you get a better look at them. They're actually quite big cabinets. The monitors, they've got a 26-inch monitor in them, which you can slide out, rotate, and put back in. They have leaf controls. Now, I haven't done anything with this other than just give it a wipe. Okay. And it does have an on-off switch on the top. I thought I turned it on at the back. It was all plugged into the wrong things when I got it. So I have rewired it, and it actually mostly works. It's very dim. The geometry's all a bit off, but other than that, it's actually, in general principle, working. Oh yeah, I didn't turn it on before. So it actually does work. Now, there are 3 of the chassis for these systems that came with these 2 cabs. And obviously this one that's in there works. It's just dim and the geometry's a little off. And you see, so it's not very bright. I haven't tried to recap it yet, so that's what I'll do first. I'll go through it one by one, work out what the caps are, recap it, and then I've got another 2 chassis that I'll try and get working to try and get the other system working. Now that one, the step down in it has basically been floating around loose in it, went everywhere, and has probably got broken wires and everything like that. I don't think the step down in that one works. In between there is my one driving game, which is Checkered Flag, which works fine. So these are, you know, it'll take me a while, but intrinsically that's working. You know, they've got good solid comments. They're actually really well built, and there's you can flick the switch in there to put credits in as well. Good coin door. I've got all the keys. This one, the coin mech, is actually sitting in there, so everything's there. The only thing they're missing is a plate. Sorry, doing that. I'm not pointing. There's a plate here, so you can lift the control panels off, and obviously this one's got a few more cigarette burns and things like that. So they're very interesting. They came from Hong Kong originally, and they are quite big and solid, but they're pretty well built inside. And I'll fix the, you know, the the marquee tubes and everything like that, and I may do one up as you know, particular game or board myself and swap out something else, and you know, I may keep at least one. I probably won't keep both of them. I do, obviously this room is very tight now, and I'm going to have to let some cabs go. I still haven't finished fixing this Champion Street Fighter. I'm in the middle of doing the chassis. This one, unfortunately, which is the same, it's another Midway upright cabinet that did spend some of its life as a Space Invaders. Wasn't probably converted properly, but it was a Midway baseball, not a Midway Space Invaders. Still not sure what to do with that one. As you can see, we still have some problems. So it jumps and carries on. So I will work that out. I need to go over the chassis again and see maybe there is a bad solder joint that I've missed or something like that. Next we have my original Berserk cabinet. I will get it working one day. It mostly works. It gets up to the colour board and then errors. And I do believe we're down to just the interlink cables. I do have a bunch of spare parts up there for it, and I even have a Berserk multi-game high score kit that finally arrived after such a long time. We have my upright vertical one that I have Raiden 2 in. I love playing Raiden 2. I'm slowly getting better at it. And next to it we have my very original cabinet with Fire Shark in it, and that one's working well. We have my Attack from Mars 1-up pinball, and that one's main board has stopped working. Joy of joys. And you can't get replacements, so I'm going to try and reflow that with the heat gun, and we'll see what happens. If that doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Yeah, anyway. We have my original Tato cabinet, which used to be a space dungeon. It's still mostly got the holes in the right place for the twin stick that it was originally, with a couple of extras. I do have an LCD in the moment. I do have a tube down there that's supposed to go in there. I just haven't. Once again, I've been very busy producing my games for the last month, so I haven't made a lot of progress. But it does have. It needs a bit more perspex for the top, but its marquee's working. It's actually quite neat, and the controls are actually really comfortable. I actually really like this cabinet, so this one I'll be staying, and I'll be restoring it a bit more. Now, another one of my favourites is Tutankhamun in a little cabaret cabinet. It has a good screen, good controls. I play this game all the time. I need to get new perspex. I have tried to get the paint off this perspex. I just need to buy some perspex and do a few perspex changes around here, and that'll neaten up all those. And then I still have my gaming testing area hidden down here. I don't have anything turned on at the moment. I've been playing some MSX games, and also very recently some Atari 8-bit games. And while I was doing that, I was using one of these as the power supply. So that's a USB-C Atari 8-bit power supply. Very cool. I've got a couple of those for the Colecos, and half of your problems disappear once you start using a decent power supply. So that's worked really well for the Atari 8-bit. I've got a second one for the Atari set up on the other side of the room. We come around here and we have my Nintendo Down Cocktail Helifier. I have all the parts. Sorry, there's a bit of bits and pieces from the Colecos I've taken apart under there. I've got all the stickers now. The control panels are done. I just need some time to sit down and wire it up properly. The only original wiring I don't have is the power supply lines. So one more check of the power supply and do the final wire up, and then that one should be actually running. I just haven't had time to go to the next step. Now, one more change here is my switch that was on top of the TV here broke down. So I got this cheap one off AliExpress. So we're looking at the one down the bottom. And it actually works quite well. So, and it's automatic, plus it has a remote control. So I've got everything teed up so it turns off everything. There we go. So if I turn this system on, which was the MSX I switched on, it should detect that and turn it on immediately. I mean, that was probably the last one I was playing, so that's probably not a valid test. It's a bit hard to turn something else on without making a mess. I'll just try the Famicom. No, I don't have that one plugged in properly at the moment. Oh yes, I do. There we go. It just took a little while to detect it. Yeah, the Nintendo Famicom one doesn't like anything else being turned on at the same time. It does have a remote control, so you can select, but I found with the Famicom, maybe its signal drifts a little bit, and you need to not leave it turned on, otherwise it'll jump back there all the time. Now, if you can work out the thing, so Famicom, MSX, Jaguar, Dreamcast, Coleco, PC Engine, PlayStation, and SM is Sega Sega Master System, or Mega Drive, and also the SG-1000, my Super Nintendo or Super Famicom and US Mega Drive, Genesis, are all hooked up via SCART. So a good setup, and I can play. I've got a modern screen here, and I use that for my backwards compatible PS3, which is here. I've got a little breakout thing here and a multi-board here that keeps these guys charged. Don't have them turned on at the moment. And there's a couple more over there. And there's a Vectrix hiding over there as well, which I like playing as well. So this is my mess in my room. That's my update. So mainly been working on my own games and getting them produced. I have sent everybody's pre-orders all off in the mail. A lot of people have got them now, and I've made up some stock. So when you order it, I can pretty much slap it in a box and send it off to you. So if you're interested in that, and also my previous title, I have stock available if you want them. So there we go. Over here, there's stock of various versions of the original game. And here, these were stock ones I put down here. And this pile here are all stock I've got made up of those ones. And I can make new stock every weekend as I need. And this is my, behind there, a little bit hidden, is my Coleco collection. A little bit invaded by MSX on the right there. I really do need to build a new set of MSX shelves all the way to the ceiling to hold the MSX collection, move the Atari to a different spot, and probably do the same thing on the other room with my Nintendo section. And I'll just do a little more pan around the room so you can have a bit of a look at some of the other sections for the time being. Yes, I've got a lot of stuff on top of the machines, but this room's dry and clean, and it's a good way of things, you know, having things safe. So by the way, I have good music set up in here, with good speakers. We've got GameCube, original PlayStation, Japanese one, Genesis, Super Famicom, PC Engine, Duo R, and a normal PC Engine, a Dick Smith Wizard. Next shelf down is both the Master System and the SG-1000 Mark III. In television, that empty one over there is where the MSX normally sits, but above it is the Jaguar and Dreamcast. We have Neo Geo CD, which is hooked up via SCART, the Sega Saturn, a Nintendo 64, and I've got two of them, one's Japanese, one's PAL, and I have my friends, not mine, Amiga CD32. And all those systems are set up ready to play. Up here are my more Japanese type titles. We have my SG-1000 collection, which is pretty much just about complete, only a couple of titles missing. And hidden behind this arcade cabinet and this mess is my PS2 collection. Just a little bit of look in the corner. That's my PC stuff there, bit of Star Wars Lego. Behind there's a bit of Spectrum stuff and things like that, so bits and pieces everywhere. I have been mainly focusing on arcades and making my own games and slowly getting more machines working. That's what I enjoy doing. I have another Intellivision there because my Intellivision has lost a colour. This one works except it has bad RF, but I've got an AV mod to do to that one. But I keep on shoving that one down the queue, and I'll do it at some stage. So here is Electric Adventures Game Room and channel update for February 2025. I hope everybody's well and enjoying their gaming, and I'll catch you in another video soon.